Yesterday, a double rapist was sent into a women's prison, and for the legal reasons you've cited, I'll need to be careful about what I say. But this scenario is exactly what I tried to stop during the passage of Nicola Sturgeon's Gender Recognition Reform Bill. But I was voted down by the narrowest of margins, and even with the flawed bill in limbo, violent criminals are exploiting the system and putting vulnerable women at risk. So can the Cabinet Secretary tell me why his SNP government think that any rapist should be allowed inside a women's prison?
Cabinet Secretary.
Well, of course, the Gender Recognition Reform Scotland Bill, had it not been stopped by another government completely wrongly, would not have changed the SPS's approach to trans prisoners, which is not dependent on the possession of a GRC. Possession of a gender recognition certificate will continue to have a minimal impact on how SPS manage transgender people. Their process is one based on the assessment of risk. I think that's the important thing to do. It's the assessment of risk. It's the assessment of risk for the individual, the assessment of risk for other prisoners, the assessment of risk for the prison staff as well. They have a tremendous track record in dealing with managing that risk. I would suggest they are far more expert in assessing that risk and dealing with it than any of us here in this chamber. I'll also point out this morning I visited SPS to discuss their management of risks in relation to serious and organised crime. The SPS is a fantastic organisation which deals with managing risks every day of the week. They have a great trans record in relation to trans prisoners, and I have faith in their ability to evolve their policy to continue that track record.
Thank you. Can I encourage members both to listen to those asking the questions but also those answering the questions? Russell Findlay.
So, pretty much as expected, the Cabinet Secretary immediately tries to shift the blame on to someone else, in this case the UK Government and indeed the Scottish Prison Service. No one doubts their professionalism or public interest in public service. What Keith Brown, I think, knows full well is that his government has the power to stop and to intervene, stop this and to intervene. And I would suggest he familiarise himself with SPS Rule 15, subsection 1. He can put this right at the stroke of a pen or with one phone call. So, today, will his government agree to direct the SPS to block this rapist and any others from being sent to a women's prison?
Cabinet Secretary.
It would have been more illuminating if Russell Findlay had actually listened to the last answer before going on to his preset next question. The simple fact is, I do, as I've said already, trust the SPS to deal with this. They do not, as is the case in England and Wales, have their process determined by the presence of a GRC. We don't do that in Scotland. That's not how it's done. So if somebody did have a GRC, it wouldn't guarantee them the right to be transferred to the place of their choice. Every single decision is carried out on the basis of risk. I trust the SPS to do that. Of course, I will be interested, as will the Parliament, in the policy review. We can have a discussion about that review when that comes back. But as things stand, I trust the SPS, and that is evidenced by their track record. When they have a case of a trans prisoner, everybody, including health, possibly psychiatric and other assessments are made. That is the right way to deal with these situations. And if you don't think it is, as I say, look at their track record in dealing with this. It is exemplary, and it's ensured the safety of prisoners for many years.